So Spirit showed me a visual of like these doors, and these doors kind of being choices that we make or belief systems that we give into. And every time that we heavily identify with a certain belief about ourselves or about the world, it's like we walk through this door and we kind of like, we're almost like signing a contract to this belief, and then we live out that belief in our lives. And like, because we have that belief, that core belief of whatever it is, it could be positive or negative. It could be like, I am so worthy and I always have a good time in life. Or it could be super negative. It could be like, oh my god, nothing ever goes my way and the world is ugly. It could be, any type of perception. And like, when you make those choices and when you heavily identify with those thoughts, it's like you walk through a door and you live out that life. And it's like every time, like, it's like you walk through these doors, but behind those doors are more doors. Like, there's always a chance to like change that perception. It never ends. Like, the door opening and going through, and the experiences, they keep going. Like, I only drew like three rows here, but there's so many more. And like, you keep going through these doors and you keep making these choices for yourselves based on your thought patterns, based on what you believe in. But there's always a chance to choose something different. Or you could just keep going through the same doors over and over again and keep experiencing, those same type of reality based on what you fully believe in. But this is with the channel message that I got, so I'm going to read it to you. I have it on my phone because I got it during when I was watching a movie last night, and like, it just came flooding in. So this is what Spirit said. We all open a door and walk down that path and live that experience based on a single belief that you decide to tune into. Always ask yourself before opening any doors and walking all the way through, ask yourself, is this the experience I want to have? So here's like a really powerful statement that I've been channeling a lot lately. And anytime that I find myself having just like a lot of fear in general, or being kind of like negative, my spirit guides will always pipe in through and they're like, hey, is this the experience that you want to have? Do you really want to believe this belief? Is this something that you want to identify with? Like, is your life really that terrible, or did you just have like a bad day, or did you have one bad experience, or whatever it is? They went on to say, you have the ability to change your reality solely based on what your thought patterns you give and identify with. You can always find the underlining lesson from not so great situations. It's not always fair, but the way we rise above it will keep you from opening the wrong doors to more suffering. So this came through because I was questioning Spirit, and I was saying, well, some people do have really messed up, experiences, and it really does suck. And they're like, yeah, people do have some really messed up experiences, but you don't have to keep experiencing that thing over and over again. Like, sometimes something does happen to us, but there's always something that we could either understand about that situation, learn from it, and rise above it. Like, we have the ability to alchemize anything every time. But if we continue to give into the perception of like, oh my god, life is so wrong to me, and whatever it is, then yes, we will continue to experience those life giving us those not so great circumstances, because we are identifying with it, and we are the creators of our own reality. And I am proof of this. Like, I have experienced what it feels like to really just be very negative and then keep experiencing very negative. And I know what it feels like to change my mindset, to change the way I feel about things, and to choose a different way of thinking, and then experiencing a lot of great things in my life. They went on to say, it doesn't have to stay in one direction. And they started to show me a train. They said you could get off the train. You can experience something bad and then choose to do something else with that experience. And that's how you get off the train. It's like when your thought patterns or the way that you view life, it's kind of like a train. And so the more that you feed this train, the faster it's going. So if it's like a super negative train, like, oh, my life sucks, everything wrong happens to me, the train keeps going and it keeps going faster and faster and faster. But anytime, you are allowed to get off that train just by thinking a different thought outside of that. You could also have really positive trains, like, everything works out for me, everything shows up for me, the people around me love me, good things happen for me, everything is guiding towards me. And when you have that thought process, that's also a train, and you could also stay on that train for as long as you want. Okay, they said, that's how you stop walking through doors that only take you deeper into suffering. You cannot change what has already happened to you, but you can choose to see how to move forward. It doesn't need to define you. Oh my God, this one gave me chills. It doesn't need to define you. It doesn't, having one experience doesn't need to be your whole identity. It doesn't need to be your whole character, okay? Your energy and your perception and the thoughts that you choose in every single walking moment is what defines you. It's like you get to decide what defines you. You have so much power. We have so much power, and we forget this. I feel like we just think that we are the victims of our circumstances, but that is not true. And I feel like the more that we can all wake up and realize that we are powerful co-creators, we are powerful creators of our own reality. And yes, sometimes things will happen that is not always in our control, but we always have the chance to rise above it. We always have the ability to choose what we want next. Okay, we always get to choose how we want to proceed with the information and the experiences that happen to us. How do you want to proceed? What experience do you want to have? That's a question you need to ask yourself all the time. Is this the experience that I want to have? And what experience do I want to have? And then proceed with that. So that is what I have today for the messages from Spirit, from angels. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.